My name is Emily Maguire. I used to live in Bath and have been to Words and Ears, but I now live with my husband on a farm in the Australian bush. I'm a singer-songwriter, composer and poet. I've just published Words with Wings, my fourth book, a collection of stream of consciousness poetry. The book comes with an album of me reading the poems accompanied by my own original piano music. I wrote the poems for Words with Wings after my meditation practice each morning, so the words are very influenced by Buddhist philosophy. This first poem is called Tapestry, and it is really my reflection on the teaching of impermanence. I weave. I am a weaver. This tapestry is my life, my understanding of how things are, the black, the white, the infinite colours of an infinite rainbow, and every thread is mine to weave how I wish, my free will. But I must weave it somehow and watch time fray the edges of my tapestry. The colours dim and diminish. The pictures fade with the evening light that sinks the sun behind that hill. And I think of karma, and I think of fate, and I wonder how it is we can grow, how we can build without breaking. Is there anything in this vast universe that escapes death and decay? And suddenly I think of sound and of the silence it contains, and I think of light and the darkness from which it comes, and of all the things we love and hate that come and go like roses in winter, waiting for the moment to bloom those red petals, shouting with joy to be alive, alive once more. Living in the Australian bush makes you very aware of the elements. Sometimes it doesn't rain for months, and everything is so dry and windy you worry every day about the bushfires. But then the rains come, and the hills around us are the greenest green, and everything comes to life again. And so it is with my creativity. I get writer's block for months, and then somehow I turn the tap on again, and it starts flowing. I don't know where these poems come from, but they come from somewhere deep. It's running dry. I need a good rain to soak the ground, startle the seeds into growing something big, something beautiful that I could write and you could read, and the words would dance on the page like a dervish on solstice night, and you would be lifted up and out, leaving the whole far behind, suddenly elevated in the air, with nothing but the sun and a single soft cloud to come between. And you would know everything. You would be the wisest of us all. You would understand the colours of the rainbow and why the wind blows. You would touch the stars with your fingertips, hold the moon in your arms, knowing there is nothing we need we don't already have in our hearts, in our minds, that life is a song we've been singing since beginningless time. I have bipolar disorder, which means I have periods of intense creativity, followed by desperately bleak episodes of depression. I have lived with this for so long now, I know of no other way to be. Medication and meditation are the two lifelines I hold on to. Without them, I would be lost. But I have come to regard my mental illness as a blessing in disguise. All this energy in my head is something precious. It's something I can transform into creativity if I choose to. If I wasn't bipolar, the songs and poems I write simply wouldn't exist. Sometimes it feels like a high price to pay, but then other times I feel a huge sense of gratitude that I am who I am. This is a poem called Skin. I am wondering how it would be to feel safe in my skin, to walk unafraid through the minefield of my mind. But fear is my friend. It teaches me to be brave. It teaches me to be unsure, and yet still decide which path to take. For we are all travelers. We are all nomads, searching and searching, as if we lost something sacred, and we are trying to find it again, life after life. And yet, perhaps, if we stood still, stopped chasing our dreams, we would realize that the thing we've been searching for is inside us. It's been with us all this time, and all we have to do is stop and listen to the beating of our heart, to the voice in our ear, telling us that skin is no boundary in the space between us. We are no more separate or solid than air. As I said, these poems are all stream of consciousness. I'd get up early, do my meditation practice, then sit down with a coffee and write down the first phrase that came into my mind. I had no idea what I was about to write from one line to the next. Each poem took less than a minute from start to finish. The lines are all very short because they were handwritten in my A5 journal, and I have quite big handwriting. The piano music that accompanies each poem was also composed as a stream of consciousness. I'd sit at my keyboard, press record, let my hands rest on a particular chord, and then start playing. 9 times out of 10, that first idea was the composition I ended up with. It was very strange. This is a poem about our materialistic world. It's called Enough. Turner saw such a sky, captured it on canvas. I wish I could capture it in my mind, instead of the usual cacophony of thoughts, feelings, things to do. I would walk slowly, look up, maybe even realize something sacred, something profound that had been missing amongst the emails and the Twitter posts, seemingly so important and yet draining the life out of me, drop by drop, day by day, until I am left a husk, a shell, my only thought, an algorithm, turning me on, turning me off. I thought being human was about love. I thought it was about being humane. And yet we are in love with our machines far more than with each other. I wonder what would happen if we all suddenly woke up. No more dreams of conquest, of acquisition, simply to gaze at a Turner sky with an unbelievable sense of warmth and gratitude. It's enough. Everything we have is enough. One of the things I love about living in the Australian bush is the animals. Obviously we have to dodge the snakes and spiders, but there are wallabies and cattle and horses in the fields, and at night you can sometimes hear the dingoes howling in the hills. There are over 70 species of birds living in our valley, including kookaburras, who make this strange laughing sound. Birds feature a lot in my poetry. This is a poem called Wings. Time is flying like the crows and the kookaburras. Do they know where they are going? To the dam, to the next tree, to the wide horizon in the sky? Do they have thoughts or just sensations? How does one bird on the wing find its mate after a day spent wheeling around the air as if nothing mattered but its wings? Maybe they do think, maybe they think, poor human, glued to the ground, head down usually, unless there's a mackerel sky or a storm coming. Time is flying like the crows and the kookaburras. We know where we are going, so why not do cartwheels in the air? We just need to find where we put our wings. Just before I released my fourth album, Bird Inside a Cage, in 2013, I was in a deep depression. I went to stay on my own at my aunt's house in Purbeck, Dorset. I walked down to the sea and stood on the cliff top in the pouring rain. I was in complete despair. I hung my head and said a prayer to all the Buddhas to fill my heart with love and confidence. The rain ran down my neck and the grey mist swirled around. A minute later, I looked up, and there on the horizon of the sea was the end of a huge rainbow. My heart filled with love and confidence. It was this memory that inspired the last poem in the book, which is called Sign. I could write, and the words with wings would fly away. I could speak, words like raindrops in a river, trying to get back to the sea. All these thoughts of me and mine, all these prayers, I may be as lost as ever, but I'm finding my way, a path through the snow, my footsteps marking the places I have been, confounding my eyes with the things I have seen, all the time wondering, where is there peace? And I've searched for so long, I'd almost given up hope, when suddenly, out of the blue, a rainbow appears, a sign in the sky, and the sign says, not long now, not far now, keep going, my beloved, you have reasons for being, you know the meaning of life is love. We don't have to be clever, we don't have to be wise. Home is your heart, you take it with you, and we are all coming and going like rainbows in the sky. Be as you are, be as you are, be everything you are. Thank you so much for listening.